The purpose of this video is so that you can understand the file structure within Reach. And the main reason why you would need to know this information is if you're going to be manually editing your templates for your channels. In order to do so, you'll need to have FTP access for your Reach instance. And if you don't have this information, you can always contact us and we'll provide that for you. Now I'm using Adobe Dreamweaver as my web development application of choice, but you can of course use any program that you like. Once you've connected to the Reach instance, you can see that there are a series of folders here, and with the exception of one, each of these folders corresponds to a different channel that you have in your Reach instance. And these folders are named according to the URL of that channel. As mentioned, the only exception here is the first one which you can see, which is noted as bank. It may or may not be the first one on your list, as these are shown alphabetically. Within the bank are where images to this Reach instance have been uploaded. So for example, coupon images, the small images as well as the large images, other various page images, and so on. Be sure of course to not delete any of these folders or change their names, as Reach does refer to them directly. And essentially you won't need to make any changes to this folder when you're editing your templates. As mentioned, each of these additional folders corresponds to a channel within your Reach instance. We can see the name of this folder is demo email, which is the same URL that corresponds to the channel. And we can see this by going into Reach. For this campaign, we can look at the channels, of which there's only one, and we can see that it's called demo email. And clicking on it then takes us to this particular channel microsite. Going back to the file structure for this channel, we can see that there are a series of folders here as well as files. These folders include the CSS folder containing the CSS for this channel, images, and these are the standard images as well as any images that have been uploaded to replace existing template images, as well as the JavaScript. The remainder of the files correspond to each individual step within the Reach campaign. You can see the coupon step files here, the sharing files, survey, thank you. If you're using gamification, those files as well. Once the campaign is closed, and the only file which isn't named intuitively in this case would be the index file, which is your welcome or opt-in page. You'll notice that each of these files ends in RxDT, and this is a file extension which is unique to Reach, and it stands for RXML Dynamic Template. By default, this is not an extension that Dreamweaver has in its library, so you'll need to add this specifically, and I'll show you how to do that in a different video. We can see the contents of this file by clicking on it, where within it we can see a combination of regular HTML as well as RXML markup language. RXML is a markup language used exclusively and consistently throughout RHT software products, and again there's another video which is dedicated to your understanding of RXML. All of the code on this page is assumed to be between the body tags. Reach automatically adds the body tags for you as well as the header information, and you'll want to be careful that you don't add any header information, as this will affect how Reach works. So you can go ahead and make any changes to this code as you wish. Any changes to this layout will only affect this page. If you want layout or any additional changes to appear on the other pages as well, you'll need to go to each of these pages and make those changes. If for some reason you do delete one of these pages, you will receive a page not found error in that step of your Reach campaign. If you'd like to make any changes to the CSS or to the JS, you can do so in their corresponding files. In the CSS folder is the global_.css file, and for JavaScript in the JS folder you have the global_.js file as well. Making changes to either of these files will affect the entire instance. In fact, any file that begins with global underscore will affect the entire instance. If you wanted to create, for example, a CSS file that was specific only to one step or to one of these files that are here, you could do so by naming that CSS file for the coupon page, for example, coupon underscore and then any name that you wish. If If I create a new file here, coupon underscore, and then I can give it any name I like, .css. This CSS file would then only affect the coupon page. So you could in fact create CSS files or JS files that would correspond only to the specific page that you want to. So in summary, within your Reach instance, you'll see that all of your different channels are broken down by URL and have a corresponding folder for each. Within those folders contains your CSS, images, and your JS files, as well as all of the files for the different steps within the campaign instance. Making changes to any of these files will then directly affect what will be seen on the campaign channel microsite.